3. Local cracks and slams. Crack, slang, a jibing retort, a quip. Slam, colloquialism, a violent criticism. Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, 5th edition, 1936. From time immemorial, pointing sarcasm and humor at localities has been recognized as an element in human nature and its literature. Samuel S. Cox. 1. Names and nicknames. In all times and places, popular tradition embraces terms, phrases, sayings, allusions, rhymes, songs, and jokes that poke fun of a particular locality or group. In American geographical and cultural diversity intensifies rather than modifies the spirit of clannishness, provincialism, and rivalry which moderates local jibes. Minority and sectional conflicts and the mobility of the population are contributing factors. The restlessness of travel and the internal migration makes local differences stand out in sharp relief and heightens the power of observation and the sense of incongruousness. Corresponding to local color in fiction, the humor of local characters and customs is an integral part of our folklore. From another point of view, local taunts and insults are inspired by reaction against the excessive optimism and confidence of boasting and boosting. This boosting in reverse has already been noted in mock brags and orations, inverse brags, and laughing it off. Mockery and skepticism also break out in open scoffs and jeers, pricking the inflated self-opinion of places. Exaggeration is a weapon as well as an object of attack. The thrusts and shots of deflating sarcasm are also related to the national habit of knocking and fault-finding. The fact that knocking is as much at home in America as boosting may be attributed to the seesaw of American life, with its ups and downs of feasts and famines, booms and busts, always up in the clouds or down in the dumps. More than the opposite of boasting, however, knocking is a spirit of social criticism and protest at work of the inequalities and contradictions of individual competitive aggressiveness. When accompanied by wit and humor, knocking is relieved of rancor, and in the guise of panning or razzing becomes not only good fun, but an effective form of debunking. In a matter of name calling, nicknames go even further and call a spade a shovel. Slang names of the states and their inhabitants, popular during the last century, were mostly uncomplimentary. One of the harshest of these is puke for Missourian. Early Californians christened the Pukes the immigrants from Minnesota, declaring that they had been vomited forth from that prolific state. Collections of these sportive and sliding sibiquates illustrate not only local pride and prejudice, but also the fondness of intensive and extravagant epithets, noted by Bartlett in the perennial rashness and Protestantism in speech which Whitman identifies with slang. A simple form of local witticism is nomenclature. Out of a realistic sense of humor and the apt phrase, frontier communities assumed disreputable, hard-sounding names, with a rough and ready appropriateness and facetious raciness. Bret Hart has capitalized and popularized such places as Roaring Camp, Poker Flat, Red Gulch, One Horse Gulch, and Rough and Ready. These hearty, improvised names, born out of a moment's humor, good or bad, the American expressed the same irrelevance and impudence of the barbaric yawp of tall talk and boasting. The appetite of the people in these states, wrote Whitman in an American primer, is for the unhemmed latitude, coarseness, directness, live epithets, explicatives, and words of opprobrium, resistance. Words of names and places are words of strong, copious, unruly, and in the repertoire of the American pens and tongues. Such names, far from being confined to the West, had been anticipated in the East, where they have entered into mountain speech and thence into mountain fiction. John Fox Jr.'s readers are familiar with the grotesque and whimsical sound of the native salt and the savor of hell for certain, cut shin, frying pan, kingdom come, troublesome, and lonesome.